Let the cooking begin. I choose you.
Hello and welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon.
I choose you.
My name is
tradition,
Jer-
Got beer on my mic.
Yes.
Nice.
My name is Jeremy Zielek. I'm the host and Alton Brown of the group, and joining me this week, as always, is
your friend on this show, Ben Montoya.
Ian Davis, the James Bond of the show.
oh shit,
And Evan Aubrey. I got my mic now all hooked up, so now I'm in full HD surround.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
surround sound, Dolby Atmos,
Dolby Atmos,
5.1.
Evan Aubrey.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll be hearing me from above, left and right.
Yeah, it's
At
binaural
various...
audio of you drinking a beer.
Well, I mean, technically, if we were to, like, mix this show in 3D audio, we would have to have Evan's voice coming from a little bit higher than the rest of ours because he is taller than
That
us.
is true. If you want this to be accurate.
Yes.
Just coming from above, like the voice of
Sounds like-
God.
Yes. I mean, Evan could have provided us with the 10 Commandments of I Choose You. The 10 Commandments.
Oh.
Reaches up to the top shelf
Yes.
down for us.
Instead of
God has
Evan's-
reached up to the top shelf of the universe and handed down the 10 Commandments
You know what's funny
to do.
is this last season there's been so much religious humor. I noticed it when I was like going through the season for the best of, like we really hit him with that biblical
Yeah, you know what this world needs more of? Religious
Yes.
humor.
We need to start being like, because you know that the CCM, the Contemporary Christian Market, is a just pile of money waiting to be tapped. And we're prospectors, and I bet if we reduce the swears by about 30%, we could enter into the CCM market and they would eat us up much like we are eating the Pokemon.
Is CCM kind of like CCR?
No, in fact, it's kind of the exact opposite. It means contemporary Christian music, but you can also use it to mean market. So I think CCR would be a little too intense for the fine people of like the Bible Belt, where they're like, "Born on the bayou, why I cannot have this in my good house," kind of situation.
So similar to like, do you guys remember when the internet came together to make a cat speak version of the Bible?
Oh, yes, I
Yes.
do.
Okay,
It's like
vaguely.
I can has God or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't has communion.
Yes.
Perhaps like sticking with our medium, we make like verse by verse, we release a podcast where we swap out all the names and characters with Pokemon.
Ooh, yes.
We did mention this on the last episode, and I think it's the fact that it's come back up like a month later is pretty significant.
Much like the burning bush was significant to Moses.
Here we go again.
Okay.
All right.
We're just gonna end up on a loop.
Yes, it never stops. This is how we go. But more importantly, this is a very special episode of I Choose You. Every 30 episodes, we decide to move on because we can't wallow in the past forever. We've got to take bold steps forward to face new challenges, to become new master chefs. Because each generation provides a new cooking opportunity. So once every 30 episodes, we decide to, not permanently, but for the moment, close the book on a generation of Pokemon so we can move on to the next.
Said with
Thus-
the confidence of someone who won almost every episode.
Yeah,
last
what the
season.
hell?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm going to use this opportunity to indeed rest on my laurels because for the first time in 3 years, Jeremy Zielek is the winner. I'm the Wario.
Wah.
This time, I'm gonna win. I said that at the beginning in December 2021. I told Ben, this time I'm gonna win, and I
The
did.
oracles
And
have foretold.
Yes. So,
They would come.
yeah, thank you for coming up here with me to the winner's circle, also known as the season 5 finale of I Choose You.
Okay. Winner's circle. I was like, you're the one who's being welcomed here. Like all of us
Yes.
have already
Yes.
exceeded expectations in this like ninth circle of hell we call I Choose You.
Yeah.
It's like that comic where the dude like has the medal around his neck, and he's like bursting the champagne and like kissing the girl and like losing his shit, and then he's like third place on the podium.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Well, that's that. It is how it goes. So, I'm gonna propose we go forward with the season finale tradition. I almost said the season 5 tradition. There's no traditions in season 5. Yes, Ben?
Would you like to do a LaCroix Boys before we
Oh,
enter
yeah.
the
Could
main
we
portion of
forget?
this show?
We've been not recording consistently for the last 2 months, so that's how we forgot.
Just cracking LaCroix willy-nilly without discussing them.
Yes, sometimes I would drink them without even mentioning what kind of beverage I'm drinking.
Wow.
Impossible. I'm drinking it right at the moment. I'm drinking a White Claw because I have to participate in the lawlessness of cooking and eating Pokemon.
It is summertime. No laws.
It is summer. Yes.
I've got a one of the holy trinity of wheat ales from Golden Road. This one is guava cart. They also make a mango cart and a melon cart that are also delicious.
Guava sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For my first beverage, I will be having a lime polar,
Ooh.
and to follow that up, I will have a vanilla orange polar.
Nice. And for
Wow,
the
interest-
amuse bouche, we have how many course dinner?
It sounded
is
like
with
you're
LaCroix?
a magician announcing your tricks. For
Yeah.
my first beverage, I will be having a lime polar. Notice that my sleeves are empty.
I will make this lime polar disappear.
And I drink it.
Yeah.
Yes. And everyone oohs and
Like,
ahs.
wow.
Ben, is that
Well-
an A&W?
It is not an A&W. It is a Victoria Mexican beer because I did go
shit.
to Mexico
Ya boy.
actually since the last time we recorded, which was a lot of fun. Went with Asia's family. We went to Puerto Penasco, which is on the Sea of Cortez. So we spent a lot of time at the beach and by the water and at the pool, and it was really, really quite lovely. But there was something that I wanted to share with you guys, a crazy turn in the trip, or well, like a night that happened, where I walked in.
One crazy night.
Exactly, one crazy night in Mexico, and
Yes.
you will believe it. It is a little. The characters that we happened upon were very crazy. We it was our last night there. Me and Asia were like, oh, we're gonna go down to the pool where we were staying. And so we go down there, and then we see like at the pool there's like a like one of those tent like shades, like those metal like four
The
kind of
palapa?
pillar like, yeah, exactly. We saw one of those, but it was in the pool.
Nice.
Like and like slanted so that it like was shading off parts of the pool, which was cool. But
Oh, like it was supposed to be in the pool, not like a storm had picked it up and like, okay.
no, like it was supposed to be on the ground, but someone was like, what if we put this in the pool?
Yeah, what if we had like a carnival tent in a
Yeah,
pool?
drunk
Wouldn't that be
escapades.
fun?
I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was the first thing that we were like, interesting. And before this, we had heard from Asia's mom and her boyfriend went over to the neighbors that lived right next to us, who had been like crazy loud, like partying all night long, like the whole weekend. And they went over and asked for corkscrew because the one that they had in ours like broke. And they were like, oh my God, come on in, take a shot, have a shot of tequila, have a shot of Fireball.
Wow.
Yeah, like woohoo! We're about to
Spring
go on
break.
a cruise. We're gonna go on a boat cruise, and like they were just like already. This was probably 5-6 o'clock or so. These people were
Nice.
already blasted.
Amazing.
And we're
I thought you
like,
were gonna say it was 10 a.m.
Yeah.
no,
Taking shots.
But
Yes.
they were very drunk already, and they had like given some shots to Karen and IE, and it was like, oh shit, like these, like we heard from them, like there are some crazy neighbors right next door. So then fast forward, we're going to the pool. We hear from these guys that are by the shade, like, hey, you should come drink with us. Hey, you want to take a shot? And they were like, we have a shot of Fireball, and we have a shot of tequila. And I was like, I
Man.
think I know who you are. I think you're our neighbors. And they were like, hey.
Oh. Did they have New York accents?
No, they were actually
Okay.
from Tijuana, which was
okay.
kind of interesting. And
But they're like on spring break.
so
They're like,
Yes.
They're like,
Yeah,
shots.
they were vacationing, going crazy.
So it's like they're like intra Mexican travelers.
Yes.
So they were just. Do you think the people of Puerto Penasco are like, oh, those guys from Tijuana coming over and roasting our nice town or whatever?
I think it's a little bit more like Puerto Penasco is like a lot of American tourism there.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they were to feel that about people, it'd be more Americans than like
Yes.
other Mexicans like coming through and staying there. But anyway, these guys were like, oh, we're from Tijuana, blah blah blah, and they're like, you got to take a shot. And at first we're just kind of like we told them like no a few times, and they were like, okay, well if we're annoying you, just let us know. And like, what are you supposed to say at that point? Like, we're the only two people in this pool.
Yeah.
And so we were like, no, it's okay, blah blah blah, whatever. And he was like, you gotta take a shot, you just gotta do it. And then he did, and he started pouring shots of this like tamarind flavored tequila like in our mouths in the swimming pool, like straight
my
from the
God.
bottle, like so we were like, whoa, this is taking a turn, right? And then
Okay, I just want to say, I don't think pouring alcohol straight from a bottle into your mouth is technically a shot.
yeah,
You
but
know.
I mean, no, but like from like a distance, like a good like
Okay.
6 inches or so, they were pouring it just like into our mouths in the pool. Little crazy for me, not usually how I get down, but I was like, whatever. Anyway, this guy starts talking to me, and he's such a fucking asshole. He's a fucking prick. The other guy is actually very cool and was like a lot of fun to talk to and hang out with, but this one guy was so fucking drunk and an absolute like pig, like talking about all the women. He was like, oh bro, I fucked so many bitches, and oh my god, I'm so you do this thing with his eyes where he would like, just like get suddenly really wide and be like, I'm so fucked up, oh my god, I'm so fucked up. So like obviously we walked into this situation and they're in their whole movie, like they are on a whole other one.
Wow.
And so we're just like talking, I'm like getting fucking sick of this one guy, but then we're talking, and he's like trying to say something. He's like, oh, how do you say this in English? And he was like, oh no, I remember how this started. It was like we were talking about like oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh well, actually I'm a podcast producer. And I was like, fuck, why did I say this? Because then he was like,
Let me tell
dude, you don't even know, you gotta come through Tijuana because I got this studio at I don't want to brag, but I am guapo, rico y poderoso, handsome, rich, powerful, and I got this studio, bro. You gotta come through. So many bitches and so much fucking bullshit. I was just like,
Oh
God
god.
fucking damn it. Never mention that you have a podcast.
Yeah, never tell
Hanging out with
anybody
all
that
these
you make
groupies at my
podcasts.
podcast studio.
Yes. Yes. Like, was he a musician or was he also a podcaster?
Well, okay, so here's where it was interesting, as I was like, okay, whatever, like Spanish or English, like what do you talk about? He's like, oh man, fucking everything, but the guy that was gonna do it he's gonna be a politician, so now we can't release it anymore. So I was like, okay, this sounds like you were wanting to make a podcast. You made like 2 episodes, and then someone was like, oh no, I actually don't want to be on mic talking like all this misogynist bullshit with you, so we're gonna have to not do this.
Sounds like this person suffers from some pod fade.
What is that?
There's this article in the New Yorker like 3 years ago where it's like people, they're just not being able to get through podcasts. And the article that they interviewed, like the hook of their article is like, there's these 2 women. They're like, yeah, we were going to start a podcast and take over the world. And how we did it was we just put our iPhone on a table in a room and thought that's how we got to get going. And it's like,
I think I know what you're talking about.
I don't think you're really committed to actually putting in the work.
Yeah. Anyway, these guys are crazy. We're in the pool chatting. I'm like trying to just like make it out of this awkward situation and go back up to the hotel room. Like me and Asia are both trying to do this. We're talking, blah, blah, blah. And then at a certain point, he's like, oh, how do you say this in English? And he's like, bro, I have a black belt in sucking ass.
Wow.
Like totally straight. And I was just like, this is not the compliment to yourself that you think this is, because if you suck ass, that's much different than eating ass, which is what I think he was trying to say.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's like the bumper stickers we were talking about the other day.
Yes.
Exactly. So I was like, I
This
see
guy's
that
like an anti-Mothman because he would not eat an entire ass at a Denny's.
I was like, so you got a lot of Denny's in Tijuana, apparently. But anyway, and then eventually we were able to escape this extremely awkward interaction. So I thought I would just share that with you guys.
Yeah,
because,
sounds like quite the trip.
Very nice.
Well,
yeah.
I want to. So that was a fun anecdote, but I want to know any good food items procured in Puerto Penasco.
Here's the thing: is for some reason the food that we ended up getting for most of the nights that we were there kind of sucked. I just gotta I have to say it. Like, and the worst part was for the most part it was pretty cheap, so it didn't really. It was like whatever, you don't feel like too bad. But the first night that we were there, we stayed at this place that is like part club / like part like family restaurant on the beach. It's a little bit like it like at like 12 till 4 on the weekends. It's like a crazy club that we could hear like down the street. And then during the day it's just like a beachfront like restaurant kind of thing.
So it's like if they put a Denny's on the beach.
It's a little bit like a Denny's, except it was even worse than that, if you can believe it. The food. Like, so
I can't believe it.
We got there and we're like, oh man, we're so hungry. We've heard so much about this place because all the tourists go here, blah, blah, blah. It's like very, established. All this, people drawing it to this restaurant, Manny's. I'll just shout him out.
You're on blast, Manny's.
Exactly. Because we all like ordered like Diablo shrimp or like I got Diablo fish, which is like, you expect it when you say Diablo to be a little spicy, maybe. And there is a certain like Diablo sauce with like garlic and peppers, and it's like, kind of tomato based. It's a very specific thing. This was like pasta sauce. It like it was not good. And it came with like vegetables that were like steamed, but they weren't steamed all the way. It was just like, this is the most unpleasant like fish I've ever had. And it ended up being ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
Especially for like even for Mexico. And I was like, what the hell?
That's just especially annoying considering your proximity to the ocean.
I know. That's the reason why I got fish. I was like, we're at the beach. I'm going to have fish and shrimp like all weekend long. And I did. And that one time it really burned me.
Let down.
The other weird thing, well, I got some other good stuff. Like, I got some good shrimp, like an enchilada kind of thing, burritos. Like we cooked at the like Airbnb that we were staying at. And those dishes, like meals were really good. Some great chorizo down there.
Nice.
One thing that I did want to mention is I did get ceviche at one point. And it was pretty good, but the thing that perplexed me is that it came with ketchup.
Oh.
And apparently it's pretty common in Mexico to serve shrimp cocktail and ceviche with ketchup.
Interesting.
Huh.
And like mayo too.
Mayo I kind of get, or like an aioli or something maybe,
Yeah.
but like ketchup. Interesting.
It
Ketchup's
really, it confused me for sure, because I was like, I'm not gonna. I mean, do people usually do this?
Who does this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Last question. You sent a picture, and I want to confirm this. Was there a giant shrimp statue in Puerto Penasco?
There was. We went to the Plaza de Camarón, and there was a giant statue of a shrimp there. There was also a separate giant statue of a fish that I didn't get a good picture of, and there was another statue that I did get a picture of, a golden fisher man. So lots of great statues in Puerto Penasco.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind if I ever visit. Sounds like fun. I'll
good
definitely put that
Pokestops.
on my list. Yes.
Yes.
What's funny is I was on a road trip over the weekend, and I stopped at a bunch of Allsups, and Allsups is doing this thing with like Pokemon Go, where they're like special Pokestops in Pokemon Go
At a gas
are just
station.
the Allsups.
Yeah.
Yes, and they're like, make your Allsup, like, so I was walking into the Allsups to like use the bathroom or whatever, and it's like, make your Allsups your Pokemon stop. Come to Allsups to get all your Pokemon needs. I was like, my Pokemon needs aren't really satisfied
At Allsups.
at this Allsups.
If you ever need like gummy bears and Arizona iced tea and a fill up in your car, you know
Yes.
who to call.
You need to like call up management and say, I want my money back because all my Pokemon needs were not satisfied. Actually,
They were this Allsups was not satisfying. For those who don't live in the Southwest, Allsups is a gas station chain that's based in New Mexico. Anyway, I think that covers it for the preamble. Let's get into the meat of the program, where we talk about cooking and eating Pokemon. Now, since this is a season finale, we have a very special setup, which is that instead of voting on who has the best recipe for a particular Pokemon, we each get a number of Pokemons and a course designated with them. And we present a full 4-course meal with our specified Pokemon for each course. So each host gets a course with 3 different Pokemon, and we're going to have the greatest, partiest dinner of all time. And this meal starts with Ian Davis, whose 3 Pokemon this week that he's preparing for an appetizer are Victini, Duat, and Sock. So, Ian, take us away.
Hey, Jeremy, great to be here. Thanks, everybody, for being on the show. For your consideration, 2 appetizers, 1 drink to get this party started.
Nice.
Okay.
let's get this party started right.
Ben, okay, I just want to interrupt about your Mexican vacation. Did anyone play the Vengabus song in
No.
Puerto Penasco? Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, Ian, continue.
So, gotta get the hardest one out of the way. Sock is like just a blue dude karate chopping around.
Yeah.
Stared at
Blue
him
Man
for. Oh, I wonder. And then there's like a show called like. I can't think of anything witty based on Arrested Development. But,
Yes.
He's like, I blew myself.
Yeah.
And he gets karate chopped.
Yes.
I'd see that.
That would be pretty funny if that did happen.
But yeah, it's like, and also like, there's no funny bits. Like he has like a funny Picasso face, but like, I spent hours looking at this guy, couldn't come up with anything. So if you can't beat him, I say like match his
Join him.
lifestyle. Yes. When you're thinking of like getting shredded, what are some like good ways to like what are some meals you think about or things to consume that gets you there?
Like a protein shake.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Kale.
Keep going.
Nuts? I don't know. Nuts have a lot of protein.
Kale.
You gotta start your day right.
Banana.
Milk.
All right, you guys are
Raw
just
egg.
not-
You're gonna milk Sock.
Oh, no.
I really don't want to. I did spend some time thinking about what's under the robes. Nothing edible. in my
A
mouth.
copious amount of udders, apparently.
That was the other 5 hours that you spent looking
Yeah.
at Sock.
Jeremy shed it up there. Raw eggs. Great way to like get fucking ready to go. So like as a primer to like this experience we're about to have. You get some sock eggs. Because as we know, all Pokemon are from eggs.
Of course.
They
Right.
are from eggs, so like every Pokemon has an egg. Even the egg-based Pokemon like Execute.
So you take sock. It lays an egg. You like go to the sock coop. You get the egg out.
You go into the coop and it's just like a bunch of like chickens kicking each other, punching each other.
You bring it
Like-
inside. Cook some rice, some sushi rice.
Uh-huh.
Rinse it, put it in your rice maker, get that out nice and fresh, and then get some dried kombu. Like some nice seaweed,
Yep.
and you just crack the raw fucking egg right in there.
Oof. Nice.
This is called. Let me check my notes. Tamago gohan is like a Japanese breakfast where it's just rice with a raw egg cracked into it and like maybe a little bit of soy sauce on it.
All right.
Not to be rude to the fine people of Japan, but that sounds like the lowest effort breakfast that you could possibly come up
Hey,
with.
you're on the go. You're a working person. Don't
Yes.
have time for breakfast at home.
Yes.
I mean,
Wait,
Jeremy,
so
this
how do you-
article- Yeah.
How do you transport it?
Well, here's the thing. You saved so much time in preparation, you have time to eat it at home before you...
So
Or if-
hand?
Realistic... No, it's like in a little bowl.
Oh, okay.
with chopsticks.
Oh, Ben, you were just thinking like you had like a handful of rice and you put an
Yeah, a
egg on
handful
it.
of hot rice, and you just crack an egg right into it.
Well,
Sorry.
I don't know. Like,
I missed a. No, Ben's right. I did miss a crucial step. Cook the rice, then with a spoon, transfer it to a bowl.
There we go.
With your hands, you're gonna crack the egg directly into the rice. God damn.
I like that, Ben. In every moment where food isn't specified in a container, it's obviously just on
With
like
my
the
hand.
counter or in your hands.
I don't know. Like chopsticks, I don't know if it's supposed to get like mixed up or like I don't know. But apparently now I do know.
Yeah, and knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe. After we've eaten this, which I hear is very good, we're gonna stop pretending like we're trying to be healthy here. Okay.
Also, I like that you're like, we're starting this meal. We're like Rocky raw eggs. We're just gonna get this out right. Hell yeah, baby! This is what you want for a 4-course meal: is a raw egg. Just like
It's like a nice palate starter. Gets everything going.
yeah.
The main course, so to speak, of the appetizer is going to be, I have dewat. Duwat?
I think it's duot. Like it sounds like dew and otter combined together.
Do what, mate? Yeah.
Do Ian, do what you will.
Do what you will, because thine are the full power of law. Aleister Crowley said that.
Go up to the duat, tear off those little shells off his knees.
Oh, kneecap.
So he's just like hanging around, and you're like, "Excuse me," and you just take his shells off.
Oh,
Peel them right off. And I know, like, certainly, like, those are modeled after clams, and that's like what otters eat. But gotta level with you, I'm not a clam fan.
really not a clam
So
fan?
Yeah.
presupposing like maybe there are variations where like different shellfish are attached to its legs, we're going mussels.
Okay.
All right.
Ugh. Muscles on the muscles?
Yeah.
Because we're shredded. We ate the raw
okay,
egg.
I see.
We got muscles on
all right.
muscles. All right. And we're making what is probably my all-time favorite. I eat it as like a full meal. It's awesome. My dad used to make it when I was a kid. French mussels in white wine sauce.
I just had that the other day, actually.
Oh shit.
Man.
My man.
Good large,
with
Evan.
So there's only two, shellfish per duat. So it's gonna take you a little bit because you need 2 pounds of mussels.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
It
Get
is
some
a full
dry-
plate, yeah.
and we're splitting it 3 ways.
Right, yeah.
So you get your mussels, scrub them clean, get some dry white wine, some butter, shallots, garlic, a little bit of flour, and some parsley. And first, you're gonna put the mussels in some salt water for about 15 minutes, to help them open. Because what they don't tell you on the duat is like it looks like it's just half a clam, but when you pull it off, the bottom shell is like
Something,
Interesting.
in the leg.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's a full It's a full experience.
that just makes it sound like some sort of growth or something that has like a wart.
Yeah, get ready for this delicious 4-course meal.
Raw eggs and fucking like wart oysters.
They're real mussels, okay? Yeah, it's like a symbiotic relationship.
Okay.
You take the mussels, put them in the salt water, and during that time, you're gonna find out if like any of the mussels are no good. You know what I mean? Like they don't open at all.
Right.
There's something wrong with them. Get only the best ones. Steam the mussels, as you will, and then you're gonna saute your shallots and your garlic. Get the white wine in there. Get like a nice stew going, and then you drop the mussels in there, and as the shells are opening up, they're getting like all the juices and yum yum yum, and you serve that going. And that's part 2. Part
Nice.
3, you got to wash it down. I got Victini,
I know where
the
this is
Pikachu
going.
clones. I bet you don't.
Is it a
Well-
Pikachu clone?
It kind of looks like Pikachu, but it's like a special Pokemon. If you have it, you win.
Oh, that's right, because it is victorious,
Yes.
just like James Bond.
Oh shit.
All right.
I don't know if you guys have ever. You're all familiar with Tabasco sauce.
Yes.
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 I am.
Are you saying, I don't know if you guys have heard of this. Have you heard of Tabasco sauce?
Maybe Ben had it in Mexico. Delicacy. Well, it's from a Tabasco pepper, which I didn't know what that was. But if you look at a Tabasco pepper and then you look at the Victini hands, pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Oh, I see it. Yep.
Yeah. So collect your Victini hands, and we're gonna make some homemade Tabasco sauce. So you need about 5 ounces of Tabasco peppers, roughly chopped. So I don't know how many hands is that? Like
20.
yeah, 20 hands.
Well, what's 20 hands?
Isn't there only one of them?
Well, you just got that ditto going and you gotta reproduce
yeah.
them, you know?
It may not be as good as the original, but it's pretty close.
Yes.
If every game is like its own multiverse in which you're the main character, you just have to travel to a few of them and collect the hands of, it's almost like Everything Everywhere All at Once, but hands.
Yes. Going around stealing people's hands.
Not hot dog fingers, but pepper fingers.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
You jump to the universe in the Pokemon universe where Tabasco peppers are actually Victini hands, like growing out
Yes,
of the ground.
Exactly. Take those hands, roughly chop them. You get some salt. You get some unchlorinated water. Get some white wine vinegar. And you mix that shit together, let it ferment. You got Tabasco hand sauce. Now, you're wondering, how is this an appetizer beverage? Well, we're making a dirty and spicy Grey Goose Victini martini.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Ah,
I gotta say, hand sauce
Nailed it.
would be a good, fun brand name for just soap, like liquid soap.
Try our delicious hand sauce.
Damn, you're
I gotta
so right.
season my hands real quick.
Yes.
Continue.
All right. 2 ounces of Grey Goose vodka. Is there a goose Pokemon?
There's
There's a
Yes.
swan Pokemon.
Grays and goose vodka.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Nice.
I smell an advertisement coming on.
Yeah.
Get some dry vermouth, some olive brine. Well, you only need 4 drops of your hand sauce, so that bottle's gonna last you. Don't feel bad that you took 20 hands across the galaxy. It's gonna keep this going for a while. And then a little pinch of salt. Method 1: stir all ingredients and strain. 2: garnish with fresh chili, which I'd encourage you to take an extra little Victini hand and just kind of get it to hold on to the edge of the glass.
Just barely hanging on.
Yep, it's spicy. It's good. This recipe I had to enter my date of birth to get into. So anyone under 21, you're welcome. Here's a little. You wouldn't access this information otherwise.
This is like
A little
people
glimpse into.
getting around the paywalls of newspapers.
And so that's my appetizer experience for you.
All right. Excellent. Evan, you're next up on the delicious 4-course meal. And the Pokemon you have this week are Maractus, Emolga, and Liepard.
That's right. I don't know why, but I always feel like for these finales that I get sides for some reason. It's always I'm never a main dish guy. I'm always like a sides or an appetizer guy.
Oh no!
I mean, it's
Evan,
fine.
you're always the main course in our heart.
I mean that can also be true, but yeah. So what I have starting with Maractus, it's a cactus, but I was like, okay, we've dealt with cactusy things before. We've made cactusy drinks. We've had prickly pear something or others. But what else can I do with prickly pear? And I was wondering, we might want to do some cactus fries or nopales.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yes.
So
Nice.
yeah, so what we're gonna do is just chop those. Once you remove all the spiny pokey bits, you chop them into the paddles into fry shapes. You just do your standard fry coating, toss that in some oil, and it does have little the prickly pear flowery fruit deals. So you could make a prickly pear ketchup out of that as well.
Ooh.
So that's just a couple of
Nice.
prickly pears, some sugar, some apple cider vinegar, and some lime. And you got a little nice sauce to go with. So that's step one.
Lovely.
Step two is, what do we got? Emolga. And I was like, what? I don't know what to do exactly with this flying squirrel, but for some reason, I don't know why, but I was really like craving chicken tater tots after I saw it on like a Instagram thing.
Yeah.
So like
Chicken tater tots?
so like instead of potatoes, it's like chicken on the inside, but it's not just chicken. It's like cream of chicken with chicken bits. Yeah.
Isn't that just a chicken nugget?
You make a fair point.
Yeah, that was gonna ask. What's the difference between a chicken tater tot and a chicken nugget? Does it have
or is it-
potatoes involved?
I think Gen Z
ground
got
chicken?
me. I think they
Oh, this is just like
they
when
got
Bur-
tater tot.
this is just like when Burger King was like, "Oh, they're chicken fries, but they're really just like long chicken nuggets."
Yeah, and they
Yes.
really had me in. I was
Chicken
like, oh man,
fingers.
chicken tater tot? No one's ever thought of that before. Fuck. God. Okay. Well.
Well, hey, these Gen Z people were all eating that pink slime on the TikTok or whatever.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I think we can't take them seriously.
Yeah, this is a little different. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your chicken all to like a shredded state, right? You're gonna instant pot it. You're gonna slow cook it, all that, or not the chicken. I keep saying chicken. It's emulga. You're gonna get your emulga meat and slow cook that and make it all shreddy. And then what you're gonna do is mix that with a little bit of cream of emulga soup that you might find at your local supermarket, your Safeways, what have you. And then you're gonna mix some melted butter in with that. You're just gonna like have this nice kind of emulga-y, chewy substance, and then you kind of toss it in the freezer for a little bit. Let it start to like harden up, and then you get these into like nice little nuggety balls. You do your classic like tater tot sort of coating on them. You also toss those in the fryer. So we got two kinds of fried foods going on because those make for some good sides.
Oh, you know
Definitely.
they do.
And third, we got Lipard, which is that nice Smexy cat Pokemon.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was
Smexy.
like,
Thank
what
you
do
for
we-
saying that.
You're welcome.
It's like 2007 over here if it's Smexy.
Yeah. And what we have to treat this cat right. Like this is one classy cat, and what makes for a classy appetizer but some carpaccio. So that's some nice like thinly sliced, shaved pieces of Lipard. Maybe you top it with a little bit of like capers, maybe a little bit of like arugula if you're being like fancy and want to plate your food all nice. But that
Yeah.
would be my third side.
I have a question. With Lipard, does the taste, is it like a false taste because it's a lying thing to you?
That's a good question. Maybe you like go in expecting it to taste like something different, something you've never had before, but in fact it just tastes like prosciutto or salami, and you're like, oh,
Yes.
I've had this before. It's not that fancy.
Maybe every time that you eat it, you tell yourself a lie, or you realize you've been telling yourself a lie, and you're just like, "Wow,
Yeah,
my life."
you're
Revelations.
Yes.
you're having so much food at this wonderful meal, and you're like, oh, I can't possibly eat anymore, and then you're like, maybe just one more, and yeah, you just keep eating. Yeah.
Are you anticipating any psychoactive effects from from the Lipard?
I was thinking about it, but I don't know if this like, yes, it's a dark type. Yes, it lies to you and is very snivy and sneaky. But
okay.
not so much. Not so much.
I for some reason thought it was psychic type, but it's dark type.
I think it's
so.
a dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ian.
You when you bring it out, you're like, this is the darkest of our sides.
The most evil.
Yeah. Welcome to
Yes.
the dark side.
Oh, all right.
I gotta circle back to the cactus.
Oh yeah.
Cactus
The fries.
Fries.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I was in Michigan, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, my buddy took me to a Salvadorian restaurant, a pupuseria, if you will.
Oh, nice.
Had some fantastic yucca fries and some yucca stuffed pupusas, and boy, it
Ooh.
was God.
It's pretty
Delicious.
good. I've had
does
cactus
sound
like
good.
more and more recently, and I'm really loving it.
I hate
I
to
had
say
some-
it, I think I like yucca fries better than real fries.
Whoa!
That's gonna be my hot. They're
Holy
meatier.
shit!
They got real nice and crispy.
Wait, are you saying they fell from space
Yeah.
because they're meteor?
Boo. Jeremy, while your internet died, we were talking about we need to lay out the bits. This is not the kind of bits that we're looking for.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Tuck your bits away. That
Yeah.
wasn't the one.
Yeah, gotta hide my bits.
Jeremy, do you want to do your actual bit?
My actual bit is I had some cactus fries last week, and they're very good from Guava Tree in Albuquerque.
Oh, nice.
Highly recommended. Anyway, yes, I'm next up on the order, and I have the entree. And my Pokemon are Scrafty, Cofagrigus, and Snivy. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use all three of these Pokemon to make one delicious main course.
Ooh, nice.
And I was thinking to myself, how are we going to approach this? Because these are kind of different Pokemon, kind of a variety of subjects to touch upon here. And I was thinking to myself, what can we say about like Scrafty? Is that he might be a little bit of a tart individual, if you will,
Nice.
a little sour, if you will. And what can we say about Snivy? Is he's also a little bit he's probably also a little on the aloof end, if you will. So he might also lean into that. So I came up with to combine all three of them, and we'll see how the Cofagrigus fits in just a second. I'm gonna make sweet and sour Scrafty with roasted Snivy inside, and the sweet and sour sauce is going to be produced with the Cofagrigus juice. Because you know
Nice.
how people are always looking on the internet and they open a coffin and we're like, I want to drink the coffin juice.
Yeah.
They said Cofagrigus wasn't a show.
Yes.
Just hour after
But-
hour.
Yeah. I believe that Cofagrigus' interior would add the right pungent note to the sweet and sour sauce for my sweet and sour Scrafty with roasted Snivy. Ben, you might be crinkling your nose, but I have to use every Pokemon here. Yes, Ian.
Does the entry say anything about like what's on the inside of the Pokemon? Like
It's a curse.
The curse is on the
It's a
inside.
curse. Yeah, because it's based on like you open up an ancient Egyptian tomb and you get cursed. So the inside of it is just a curse.
because it does have like, if I'm remembering right, it kind of has like Mickey Mouse hands, right?
It has arms, yes, and they're like made out of a thin smoke that's coming out of there.
I see.
Okay.
So we don't see fully on the inside, but I bet we could get some coffin juice out there.
Okay.
So for the Cofagrigus will be a part of our sweet and sour sauce. So we're gonna crack open that Cofagrigus, and maybe we do get cursed. Maybe we get turned into Tom Cruise's The Mummy 2017. Who can say? But we've gotta face those evils just in case. So we're gonna pull that out, and we're gonna add it to our sweet and sour pork recipe that I'm using. But instead of pork, we're using Scrafty meat. So you know how Scrafty has like those pants that are like a
parachute
trash
pants,
can
yeah.
that he puts stuff in. So those are nice, blown up, lots of delicious meat there. So we're gonna take his pants, cut that up, chop it up nice and good. We get the Cofagrigus, and then we're gonna get the other elements of our sweet and sour sauce, including corn flour, cornstarch, soy sauce, baking soda, onion, ginger, and garlic. And we're gonna let that marinate for a nice long good time. Now, Snivy. It's obviously based on a snake, but it's also a plant. I don't want to think to yourself, what plant kind of looks like a snake that you commonly eat and is associated with sweet and sour dishes?
Oh, I was going to say a
That's
snake
right.
plant, but you don't eat that.
No. That's right, green bean. So we're going to strip the Snivy of its leafy parts, and we're going to use that as the green bean that is frequently found in these sweet and sour dishes. We're going to roast that up with some Snivy, bell pepper, onion, some shallots, chives, all that good stuff. We're going to add our sweet and sour sauce made with the Cofagrigus interior on our Scrafty pork. We're going to stir fry that all together, and it's going to be real delicious. And then we're going to serve it on a nice big plate on your center, family style. Everyone gets a little bit of the sweet and sour Scrafty.
Jeremy.
Yes,
Jeremy. Could you call this dish "Eat My Sweet and Sour Shorts"?
Oh.
Yeah, and I make it. I arrange it like a bento box, so it looks like Bart Simpson,
Yeah,
and he
there you
has
go.
like a speech bubble coming in. It says "Eat my shorts," except maybe it's a Scrafty with Bart Simpson hair, and he says that.
Would you find a similar dish to this? Of course, yours is homemade. I'm not accusing you of anything, but could you
sounds
find
like-
could you find a dish similar to this at Pancham Express?
Nice.
Yes, you could find one similar, but I always feel like that down home element. And Pancham Express doesn't really have the family style where you sit down and you get something on like a Lazy Susan and you like spin it around and you each take bits out of it. That's not you're not getting that at a Pancham Express. So you're getting that from me, Jeremy Zulik.
I also have to just, while we're talking about resources, right? Accessibility. I wonder what circumstances do you get Confragrigus juice? Like, it seems a little suspicious if I'm going to be honest.
What circumstances? What do you
Like on a full moon when, on this day
No, I'm
in
saying
August.
like this seems like the kind of thing that, like we were saying, would be like, a mummy and would be like, in the possession of some like museum or like some specialist, maybe an art, like, archaeologist. So how is it that you got a hold of this juice? I'm just like perplexed.
As in most Pokemon games, I wandered around in the desert and I stumbled upon it, and it showed up in front of me, and I was like, this might be royalty from thousands of years ago, but it's also right here from the taking, so yoink, and then I get it back with me.
You just like I'm picturing the process is like getting sap, like tapping a tree for sap.
Yes.
You just like
Tap in the coffin.
Stick a.
How much juice is in a coffin?
Depends
Well,
on how
I
long
think
it's
the
been
coffin
sitting. Yeah.
Well, let's see how big the Coffagrigus is. It's 5 feet tall, so a pretty decent amount of juice is in there, Ben.
can't argue with that.
I think this coffin's like Lizzo. It's got the juice.
Blame it on my coffin juice.
Yes.
Is it cannibalism?
No, because it's a Pokemon and those aren't people.
It could be a dead Pokemon that's juiced up.
Yeah.
Mummified?
Yeah.
Yes. You never. You can't. Who can say?
Nice.
I gotta say, like,
it's
we've gotten to the end of the entrees, and I feel like so far we've had like raw egg, and like the only appetizing part was like the fries and like the chicken tater tots.
Ben, you sound like you're ready to order off the kids menu.
Kind of. I mean, if anything that doesn't have Confragrigus juice, I'm in for it.
Ben, I'm sorry that I just got slapped with a tricky Pokemon. But I make the best with difficult recipes, and that's why I win at Iron Chef. But let's move on to your section of the show. You've got dessert, and for your dessert, you have to cook Zekrom, Stunfisk, and Whimsicott.
I gotta say before Ben goes, I love the premise of this episode is like we all just sat down to get like we've been like duking it out. This episode we come together. Jeremy comes out of the kitchen with like sweat on his brow and he's like, "This is what I have," and Ben's like, "You're serving me literal dog shit. I'm not gonna eat this."
Ben's like, guys, I don't want your fucking raw egg. I don't want your Coffagrigus juice. I want to go to the other table and eat my nuggies. And you leave me alone.
We're all sitting in like the big empty grand hall, and like when the butlers come out with our dishes, and Ben puts his fork on the left side, which lets him know like I'm gonna pass on this one.
No, thank you.
Yeah. We see you, Ben. We see what you're
He's
doing.
like, I'm waiting
at the
for
end of the
dessert.
Yes.
I am waiting for dessert because you know what I have for you is dessert that is in limited supply. This is a dessert that
shit.
you will not be able to have for very much longer.
Limited time only.
Oh shit, is like climate change ruining the environment for these animals?
Choco tacos.
Oh, am I right?
Interesting that you mentioned the Choco Taco. I think my cat is crying at me to come inside.
It's like, I want a chocolate taco.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
well
talk about
Vamp while
Choco
Ben
Tacos
lets the
for a
cat
second.
in.
I love those fuckers. That was like Arizona iced tea and Choco tacos fueled my psychedelic
So
rock
are
band
those
in high
gone
school.
forever? Is that the deal?
I think they were doing like a scarcity. It's like some damn capitalist scheme to sell more.
Oh, they'll be like, the McRib is back. every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, the McRib comes back when beef prices fall. That's a fun fact for you.
Oh.
Is that correlation or causation, Jeremy?
Yeah. So maybe they got rid of the Choco Taco because they couldn't handle like taco shell imports were getting too high.
But they use waffle
because of
Yeah, these waffle cones are in short supply.
yes. Well, you see, the problem because of like supply chain snarls is all the Belgian waffles from Belgium have been held up at customs.
Right.
bastards.
So I'm really happy that this Choco Taco discussion just happened organically, because that is exactly what I am making for you boys
Nice.
to round out this very unusual dinner.
I like that we're like trying to be like fancy, and you're like, shit, Choco Tacos, here he comes. So like the butler comes out, he sets down the nice like dome, and he pulls it off. And he's like, dessert, and it's a Choco Taco, and you get three of them.
Ooh. And it's like, it's in the little like metal holders.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that'd be fucking awesome.
Well, these aren't your typical Choco Tacos.
Say it like you mean it. These aren't your daddy's Choco Tacos.
Jeremy, these are not your daddy's Choco Tacos, baby.
Thank goodness. I was worried.
Because like Jeremy mentioned, the 3 Pokemon that I had are a handful. Zekrom, which is the black dragon legendary. Whimsicott, which is the like cotton guy, which is an evolution of the one we've already done. And Stunfisk, which is the fucking stupid flounder that like is very dumb.
Wow, you hate Stunfisk.
Yeah, I do. It's an ugly ass Pokemon. I'll say it. But I will
Fight
say,
me.
you know, imagine I'm gonna be, you know, I just served you this Choco Taco. You're admiring it.
Mm-hmm.
You would say that Stunfisk has a pretty taco shape to it, right?
Sure, I can see it.
If you folded it, sure.
It is flat, and it does tend to go like it, like, you know, bends upward a little bit. So I'm
The
thinking,
color of a Choco Taco too.
and it
Yeah,
is
pretty
kind of
close.
the color of a Choco Taco. So, you know, you're admiring this Choco Taco that I've just laid in front of you, and you're noticing that actually the markings on the waffle cone on your Choco Taco look like Stunfisk's face, just popping out on one end. And the waffle cone itself is not actually made from the Stunfisk. The Stunfisk factors into this recipe because the Stunfisk is in the ice cream.
What?
Whoa.
It's in the ice cream.
So I was, you know, really struggling with this trio, you know, this holy, I was going to say trifecta, but it's not, it's unholy. And I started looking through stuff, and I stumbled upon this CBS Sunday Morning story, which was actually very interesting about, quote unquote, a dessert made with ... fish. And it is something called agudok, and it otherwise known as Eskimo ice cream. So this is a traditional indigenous dish that they make in northern Alaska. And basically what it entails is you are mixing together with your hand boiled fish, seal oil, snow, and sugar, and mixing it up together with your hands. Although, you know, traditionally they wouldn't have had sugar and whatnot. And then you mix it with like berries too, which
Ooh, yeah.
would
All right.
depend on where you're, you know, making this.
Some very good
So
fish.
basically,
Oh.
so yeah, basically you're using your Sunfisk as the fish in your Eskimo ice cream. We're gonna put your Eskimo ice cream in the Choco Taco. And but you know, like traditionally this isn't a overly sweet ice cream because it is, you know, featured in this signature dish. We're gonna like amp up the vanilla and sugar flavors just so that it kind of completes the Choco Taco, you know, taste profile. And for that, we're gonna use our Whimsicott. If you pull up a picture of Whimsicott, it's very whimsical. It's very happy to be alive.
And we're going to end that happiness.
Well, I'm actually gonna meet the Whimsicott at its joyful state and only trim off its little sugary cotton. because I believe that its little cotton fro situation going on is, like how we discussed cotton candy with its evolution.
Right.
Yes.
And because the Whimsicott has like a brown like body, I'm imagining that it also has a hint of vanilla. So it can help us bring in this vanilla flavor.
Nice.
So you're gonna take the Whimsicott like cotton candy fur. You're gonna grind it up and like maybe like kind of mix it into a blender or something, so it gets a little more granular, a little easier to mix up in your bowl of Eskimo ice cream. And you're going to mix up your ice cream. And then we have our waffle cone, lovingly shaped into the perfect handheld vehicle for this delicious ice cream chocolate treat. But what are we missing? Chocolate.
Oh, yes. How could I forget?
How could we forget the Choco of the taco?
And this is where the Zekrom comes in. Because one of the things that I think a lot of like, professional bakers and chefs wish they could streamline would be like the chocolate tempering phase of making like a, chocolate sauce or a chocolate drizzle or whatnot. The great thing about Zekrom is that it has this weird electronic like generator thing on its tail, and it also provides its own anti-gravity field, which
Oh shit.
I'm not a scientist, but I can imagine, you can hack the Zekrom or whatever and program it like bippy boppy boop with the perfect, it's like a fucking air fryer. Like you can program it with your perfect, chocolate sauce making tempering temperatures. And use that for your chocolate. And the nice thing is like, it is black as well. And the little essences of chocolate, really dark, bitter chocolate, can kind of come through when you use the Zekrom to temper your chocolate. So you're going to have kind of a different flavor profile on the ice cream. You're going to have a little bit of a different bitterness on the chocolate. And then you put it all together in one beautiful Pokemon Choco Taco.
Love it.
Nice.
Yes.
Ian, you have a question.
I just wanted to make sure I understand this fully. You'll take a giant shit on a raw egg on rice, but fish ice cream. That's just another day
But
in
there's
the life.
chocolate on it.
Yes.
I didn't say that this was going to save the delicate palate that I have. I'm just saying this is what I have brought to you, because we're all mourning the death of the Choco Taco anyway. So
Yes,
That's true. That is
Yeah, that's why we're having this meal. It's the funeral for the Choco Taco.
You can always have some
like a
fries instead.
violinist
It's
in the
fine.
Yes.
Imagining like with each course we take like one bite and then we all push our plates away like
We take one bite and then we just vomit all over the place.
yeah.
The last meal.
Yeah. Well, what a delicious 4-course meal created by Ian, Evan, Jeremy, that's me, and Ben. And we don't have to fight this week. We're all in this together. We're like a Pokemon team that you're using to fight the Elite Four.
Wow.
Unstoppable.
I think we really stood up to it. So there's no voting. We're chilling out. We're having a good time. And we're going to move on to our next segment, which is Whale Lord's Mail Horde, where we read your email sent into I Choose Pod. Yes, Ben, you wanted to say something?
Should we save our special segment till after the mail?
Yeah, this is good. We only have one mail entry, so
okay.
we'll do it real quick. I choose pod at gmail.com. That's ICHEWSPOD at gmail.com. We don't have any emails per se, but we do have a Twitter thread sent in by Pokemaniac Chris at I choose pod on Twitter. Ben, can you regale us with what Pokemaniac Chris said?
Yes.
Yes, I will.
Pokemaniac Chris tweets, at iChoosePod. The Pokemon Trainer's Guide to Hitchhiking says that the best drink in existence is the Panyunovan Gargle Blaster, whose effect is said to be reminiscent of having your brain smashed out with a slice of lemon encased in the solid gold body of a one Cofagrigus.
Cofagrigus, that's the Pokemon I had, Ben.
Cofagrigus. I know. I just couldn't. I didn't really know how it was actually pronounced.
Yeah. I just want to say something, which is that if a drink has the word gargle in it, I am assuming you don't actually drink it.
Presumptuous.
Yes, but Pokemania Chris, please continue.
The recipe is said to have been brought to Earth by a mysterious two-headed Behem who also left the following excellent advice. Never drink more than 2 Panyanovan gargle blasters in one sitting unless you are a 7-kilo Copperaja with bronchial pneumonia. Okay. That
Nice.
sounds very specific. The recipe begins. Feed a Solosis for 6 days on nothing but that sinful old Jinx spirit. Old Jinx spirit is, of course, is the most potent spirit in the Pokemon world, brewed by wild Jinx using psychic methods unknown to humans to achieve an alcohol content of 106%. The mysterious biological...
Oh, wait. I have a question. How can I have something have an alcohol content of over 100%?
It's like that you can do that, right? Isn't there like it's like when you cool something down to like below 0 or whatever, right? You like trick the molecules into like doing the
Crazy
thing it's
stuff.
not supposed to do. Yeah.
And it is a psychic Pokemon. So maybe it just like tricks the, instruments that you're taking the measurements with to 106. I can't defend Pokemania Chris like this.
I'm just simply going to throw him under the bus.
The mysterious biological properties of Solosis cytoplasm help to render the old Jinx spirit slightly less toxic to humans while rounding out its flavor and retaining its supernaturally high alcohol content. Drain the plasm to serve as the base of the drink. Next, add 1 measure of ghostly seawater that has been left to steep in the spectral body of a Jellicent, infusing it with all the lost hopes and shattered dreams of countless lost souls who were drowned by Jellicent's malevolence. Ooh.
Nice.
Melt
Again, not to be rude to Pokemania Chris, but once you say seawater is a part of my drink, I'm questioning it.
Have patience. Melt an entire vanillite into the mixture. It must be alive during the process so that its soul... Oh, it must be alive. Hell yeah. So that its soul does not escape and can melt, drop by drop, into the brink. Allow 4 liters of Masharna Dream Smoke to bubble through the drink to infuse it with psychoactive properties. Float a measure of chandelier oil carrying all the dark essences of the spirit world, fiery, smoky, mysterious, yet subtle and bittersweet. Drop in the fiery horn of a Larvesta and wait for it to dissolve as it fills the drink with the blazing, invigorating light of the sun. Sprinkle powdered Haxorus scales, top the glass off with lemon LaCroix. Garnish with a sliver of Smoliv and drink, but very carefully. Here's to another season finale, and don't forget, boys, always know where your towel is.
Nice.
Gotta say,
yeah.
Thank you. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, most important book to my upbringing. So
It's a classic.
That one took you back.
Yeah.
elementary school, man.
Nice.
Aw.
Thanks so much for writing in, Pokemania Chris. And hey, more people should write in. At iChoosePod on Twitter, iChoosePod@gmail.com. Ben, I've heard you want to do a special segment. Why? What is it?
I will show you in just a second. And what?
Uh-oh.
Sorry, my computer is saying that Skype can't share my screen. That's okay. We don't need to share screens here because this is an audio medium.
Yes.
And it is time for the Not Fast Codpast podcast pop quiz.
Nice.
So, for the listeners at home, Codpast is a segment where some people write in and write about cod and or other fish facts to us.
Well,
Yes,
I'm not gonna
we've had
limit
some
it to just
amazing entries.
fish. It could also be a COD piece.
Yes.
It could be the hit franchise Call of Duty.
Yes. Could be all sorts of things.
You will see that the Codpast spectrum carries a lot of weight. Yes, there is all sorts of things. And I have prepared for you a quiz to test you on your Codpast skills.
Okay.
And you will be happy to know that, Nathan Fielder the rehearsal style. I have been hiring actors and situations in your life to prepare you for this.
Amazing.
Right.
So
You've been inserting the answers to your quiz in my everyday life.
yes, exactly. Those little notifications for like things that like tweets on Twitter, or like you're walking down the street and you hear someone randomly curse the famous fisherman who invented the cod, which I'm sure you all remember. So I have a couple questions for you boys if you are ready.
Okay. Do it.
Let's see.
Do it.
Question 1 is these are all multiple choice questions, I should say.
Okay.
Question 1 is, what fish, known as the, quote, fish that makes dreams in Arabic, creates hallucinations similar to LSD that ancient Romans used recreationally?
Oh, shit.
This is a fish name that we are looking for.
Okay.
The first answer is Boops Boops.
Yep.
Answer number B is Diplodocus vulgaris.
Ooh.
C
Sounds like
is Selema porgy.
Okay.
And D is a sand steenbras.
I don't remember
I'm
any
gonna-
of these words popping up in my everyday life.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with C. Selema porgy. That's my locking in my vote.
I'm going A.
Yeah,
A
give
Boops
me-
Boops.
Boops boops.
Give 2 for the boops boops, please.
2 for Boop squared. The Boops gang was wrong. And Jeremy with Selema porgy was correct.
Come on.
Whoa! I used a little
Rigged.
etymology for that one because the word selema is related to dreams in Latin.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
You see,
Nerd.
Yeah, I got nothing. Boops boops is just funny.
You're right. You're right. Oh, I should have gone with boops boops. It was funnier.
All right. The second question on this podcast pop quiz is, what is the earliest book about fishing?
Uh-oh.
Oof.
The first one is from 1493, and it is called A Treatise of Fishing with an Angle by Dame Juliana Berners.
All right.
And you will be happy to know that almost all the I's in that sentence are Y's.
Great.
B is The Complete Angler by Isaac Walton from 1653. C is The Long Silence by Thomas McGuane from 1752. And
Okay.
the last one is Fly Fisher's Guide by George Cole Bainbridge in 1816. So the options are 1493, 1653, 1752, and 1816. These are all amazing. This is amazing content for our audio listeners.
Yes.
Which is everyone.
Yeah. Well, I will
1752.
say that. Which one did you say, Evan?
1752.
Okay. Oh, geez. This feels like a trick question. Assumably, you made up everything else, right, Ben? Okay. So
Oh.
I'm gonna be one of those people. It's like it's later than you think, and I'm gonna go with the one from the 19th century. So D.
Give me the what was the one that sounded like a sweet like murder mystery novel?
The longest silence
Yeah,
from
Lock me in.
1752.
Yeah,
lock me in.
same.
I have to say that everyone is wrong. The first book about fishing is A Treatise of Fishing with an Angle by Dame Juliana Berners from 1493.
Wow.
Nice. God, I gotta get on that one.
Incredible.
I have I feel like I found something related to that, but now I can't find the link. But
Oh,
I do have
boo.
something for this. This next question is a very interesting one. What species of fish was dubbed, quote, Frankenfish by the media when it caused a panic in Florida in 2004?
Oh, geez.
I'm telling you, I went all in on. I looked up famous fish trivia, famous fish trivia. I got all the good ones.
Yes.
Again, this is a species of fish that was dubbed, quote, Frankenfish in 2004.
Okay.
The options are A, white croaker.
Okay.
B, walking catfish. C, walleye. Or D, a weasel shark.
I'm gonna go walleye.
Well, a weasel shark implies that it looks like both a weasel and a shark. So I'm going to go with that one.
Give me the catfish with feet.
Walking catfish?
Yeah.
Ian Davis is correct. They are walking catfish.
Nice.
And there was indeed a a panic.
A moral Oh, God, these catfish, they're walking. We got to stop it.
They're too sexy.
Well, it's weird actually. The walking catfish are a kind of amphibious fish that can live and move on land for up to a couple weeks. So
I'm looking at a picture, and it's a little unpleasant when they're on the ground.
Yeah, it is a little unpleasant, but they can flop around and live on land. And this is why they were considered to be an invasive species that people said you need to get rid of them, essentially.
Can we eat them?
So I did see an article. I feel like I must have lost it, though. There was an article about can you eat them, and I think you can. And they basically taste like catfish.
Great.
All right.
I looked up the Wikipedia page for walking catfish, and the second picture of it is its lungs removed from its body and just like on the sand, and it's like air-breathing organ of walking catfish.
Yeah, so these things are freaky, and there was a movie called Frankenfish during this year of 2004 that has an audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes at 33%.
Oh, great. So it sounds like I need to get on that right away.
Yes, you do. Frankenfish. Okay, on the topic of catfish, the next question is, how many taste buds does a catfish have?
Oh, shit. I don't know.
And there are two possibilities. There is either A, 27,000, or B, 7,000.
Ooh.
27.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess 7.
I bet that thing can taste just like as the palate of a god.
Everything.
It can
Gordon
it can
Ramsay.
actually taste the sun. It doesn't need Sunny D. It just sticks its fucking face out of the river and it tastes the sun. So I'm gonna agree with Ian.
A for 27,000. And you said, Evan.
I'm
B.
going B just because.
Okay. Evan, I hate to break it to you, but you're wrong again.
I'm like over
A catfish has 27,000 taste buds. A human has 7,000 taste buds.
Oh wow.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! Are you saying we can't taste as much as a catfish, Ben?
I'm saying that a catfish can taste superior to humans. That we don't even know what we're missing.
There's 27,000 types of umami that we're missing out on.
Yes,
Exactly.
No, I will say a catfish does have to live in like a riverbed, and so maybe what they're tasting isn't that great because it's like pond scum or something.
All right. We're almost at the end of here. This is the second to last question. The question is, what is a baby seahorse called?
Oh,
There
shit.
are 4 options for what a baby seahorse is called. A, colt. A B, calf. C, Bart. Or D, Fry.
I'm gonna go calf.
Well, so calf is what is a baby cow is called, so that seems reasonable. But Bart and Fry are both the lead characters of television programs led by Matt Groening, which seems too coincidental. So I'm gonna go with Colt.
Give me Colt.
Colt. The answer was Fry. I did not even put together the
Bart
Matt
and
Groening
Fry. That's a
connection
good,
until
mix-up.
you did. Yeah, So unfortunately, no one gets points for that. We are looking at a 2-2 split between Jeremy and Ian. Evan, I'm sorry, but you have lost your chance to win this episode of Cod Pass Podcast Pop Quiz.
That's okay.
But we have one
Fish
last
are not my
question.
strong suit.
Well, so maybe this last question will be more for you. This one's for all the marbles, as they say. I'm going to make this one worth 3 points just because I want a little
Okay, so whoever gets
drama,
this one right,
actually.
they win.
Yeah. I'm sorry for misleading you. Okay, last point wins. Which of the following characters is not in a Call of Duty?
Oh my god, I got it.
Again, this is a character not in the Call of Duty video game franchise.
Okay.
First one is A, Soap. B, Maestro. C, Roach. And D, Ghost.
All
Which
right.
one's not?
Yeah. So,
Which one of these is not a Call of Duty character?
What was C again?
Roach. The answers are Soap, Maestro, Roach, and Ghost.
I'm gonna go Maestro.
I'm gonna go with Roach, based on the fact that Roach is the name of the horse in the Witcher games. Ian,
What are you
is
gonna
that
do,
confident?
Ian?
What was the last one? Ghost?
Ghost.
Oh, that sounds like a. All right, give me Maestro.
Maestro. For all the marbles. Ian Davis and Evan Aubrey, you've won this edition of COD Pass Podcast Pop Quiz.
Nice.
Nice.
The one question I could get right.
Nice.
Thank you so much for playing.
Thanks, Ben.
Ben, I love it when you do a quiz. A great quiz is had by all.
I'm surprised more of you didn't remember the answers to these that I planted earlier in the weekend. I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'll let it slide.
Ben, I don't remember what happened this weekend. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I gotta level with you. I did not look at my phone at all.
That's why we look.
Was it when you were like, hey, can we record at 7 tomorrow?
Was that the tip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I came up with this today.
Oh, okay.
That was the real trick, actually, as I wasn't.
Oh, it's
tricking
when you
you.
said wild conceptually or way it's being done as like sloppy. I was trying to go for like a Travis Scott ad lib thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the clue, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we've got a new generation of Pokemon to talk about next week. We're starting Generation 6, which our listeners pointed out has the least amount of Pokemon in it. I think it's only, yes, it is only 70 Pokemon, so we'll cover half of them.
Ooh,
or
okay.
about half of them in this run. But
Well,
Evan,
and then also evolutions too. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
do we just
got-
want to start at the beginning?
No,
Oh, we just do all of them.
We'll just do them
All of them.
This is actually our longest season.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I think we got to still do Pick-a-mon.
All right.
A section where we pick next week's Pokemon. So, Evan, can you randomly generate a number between 650
Yeah.
and 721?
How about 7-Eleven?
Oh yeah, baby.
How about 7-Eleven? That's a good guy. Oh, and we got a good one starting off. Our first Pokemon next week is Gorgeist, the evolution of Pumpkaboo.
Nice.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a gourd and a ghost put together. So join us next week for as we discuss cooking and eating Gorgeist. Send in your Gorgeist recipes as well. Now I'm gonna we're gonna do plugs. So for the 4 hosts of the show, do you have stuff on the internet that you want to tell people about? Ben, why don't you start?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Ben C. Montoya. I have just accomplished my lifelong dream of finally
shit.
being able to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, okay.
So
Amazing.
if you are interested in any of that, you can follow me. If you're sick of it, you can just mute me for a little bit. And that's what I'm doing. You can also, there's always a good time to donate to your local abortion funds. So go to donationsforabortions.org to go do that.
Let me just say this. As a person who was at Ben's house the week Kingdom Hearts 2 came out to watch him play it, and he was freaking out about this opening section where you play as Roxas and not as Sora, let me tell you, I'm very interested in what Ben thinks of Kingdom Hearts 3 now that he's finally playing it.
One of the things that happened at the very beginning was there was a loading screen, and they showed a like fake like Instagram post that featured your boy Sora, Donald, Goofy, Roxas, all posing, and then the like little hashtag was "My friends are my power."
Amazing.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, we're getting it." Back in the modern age, it's no longer like 2006.
When did that game come out?
2019.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me that like they announced Kingdom Hearts. This is going to be a dumb tangent at the end of this long episode, but they announced Kingdom Hearts 3 in like 2014, and it came out in 2019, and that was already 13 years after Kingdom Hearts 2. Granted, there was a bunch of games in between, but still, very long time. But then now they're just like a few years later, not 10 years later. They're just like, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 4. We'll make another one. Yeah, we're good this time. We don't have to be stringing people along. And there hasn't been any weird games in between 3 and 4. We're just going straight up the numbers
They
now.
learned their lesson.
I actually think they did, where they're like, okay, we can't have all these decimal points anymore.
Yeah, no fractions.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, actually, and I'm not going to get too much into it because I do want to wrap up this episode. But if you are interested in any of this, follow me on Twitter, and you will see that my preferences are actually that some of the spin-offs are better than some of the main games.
Ooh.
Definitely better than the first one. So there's a little teaser of a hot take. That's just a sample. I feel like I'm really hyping it up for someone who actually hasn't been like following any of my posts. But like, yeah. The spin-offs are pretty good. Pretty good.
Thanks, Evan.
Yep.
All right, Ian, you got any plugs?
Yeah. This coming weekend, August 7th, Zoltan and the Fortune Tellers, I'm one of the titular fortune tellers, is dropping a new EP. You will be able to find it on Spotify. You'll be able to find it on iTunes. If, on August 7th, you happen to be in Albuquerque and you go to Marble Brewery at 4 p.m., you can see a couple of great opening acts and my band perform such hits as Rasputin's Dick
Nice.
or my very wholesome song called Fat Bear Week.
Nice.
Love that song.
Will you play the song about cheese?
Yeah, we have a song about cheese. We have a song about bologna, a song about pecans. If you like, food has taken over my life for better or for worse. So check out any streaming service for Zoltan and the Fortune Tellers album called Zoltan After Dark.
Oh,
Nice.
shit. Is this his first full-length album available on streaming services?
No, he finally, after decades of music making, put 2 of his other albums up on Spotify. So go stream them right now. Check out
All right.
what you're in store
Sweet.
for.
Excellent. Evan, do you want to plug?
Yeah, as I plunge deeper and deeper into the darkness of my studio.
You are just a face in a dark void right now.
Follow me on on Twitter at _Van Aubrey. Help me keep the lights on. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Excellent. You can follow me on Twitter at VelocityPrime1. It's pictures of me out and about in the world, and pictures of cats wearing Crocs. That's the last thing I tweeted about.
Hell yeah.
You can also read my writing at the-avocado.org. Jeremy Zelick at the-avocado.org. So that's I Choose You this week. Another great season has passed us by. You can find our show on your favorite podcasting apps, including Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify, or your podcast catcher of choice. If you like our show, give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to help us go up the ranks. If you want more I Choose You goodness, check out our social media pages, I Choose Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can share recipes, hang out with fellow choosies, and, have a good time. If you want to participate in community events, head over to the I Choose You Discord. That's I Choose You on Discord. We've got a link there in our episode description and on our social media pages. Lastly, but not leastly, make sure to check out the official I Choose You website, ichooseyou.menu. ichooseyou.menu, designed by one Evan Aubrey, has a full episode archive and merch available to purchase, including stickers, aprons, and pins. That's all at ichooseyou.menu. And I think that wraps up the show. This has been I Choose You. I've been your host and Alton Brown of the group, Jeremy Zelig.
Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next season. Your friend on the show, Ben Montoya.
See ya, suckers. Ian Davis, the James Bond of the show.
Oh,
Nice.
shit.
And Evan Aubrey.
And to all the choosies out there in Radioland, in a while, Totodile.
Yeah, I choose you. Yeah, I choose you.
Everybody wants to be a master.
Chef.
Everybody wants to show their skill. In the kitchen, everybody wants to cook that cluncher. Finny in at the top of the grill. Each time you fry, gonna cook it just a little bit better. Each taste you try, boy, this froky is nice and tender. It's a whole new world we cook in. It's a whole new place to eat. We're in season 6 with some brand new recipes, 'cause we're still gonna cook them all and make a pun or 2 or 3. It's a whole new world we cook in. It's a whole new place to eat. We're in season 6 with some brand new recipes, 'cause we're still gonna cook them all and make a pun or 2 or 3.